Hello, this is Aaron Mean of SG Game Info, and last week I showed you my top 5 games of 2016, so this week I will be talking about my 5 most disappointing games of 2016. Now, the games on this list aren't necessarily bad, they are games that simply left me disappointed, as they didn't live up to my expectations. Now, like all top 5 lists from SG Game Info, only games that I played or reviewed will be on this list. Number 5. Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom by Koei Tecmo. Wings of Freedom is based on the popular anime, manga and light novel series Attack on Titan. In the game, humanity is under attack by creatures known as Titans, and you are tasked with helping one of humanity's last remaining cities. While I tried to enjoy Wings of Freedom with its fluid omnidirectional movement system and combat that puts an emphasis on speed and accuracy, everything else about the game lacked charm. Wings of Freedom suffered from an overabundance of similar missions, with many missions feeling very much copy-paste in their design, with the main difference being their location. The characters in the game are also rather uninteresting. Before I played the game, I had been told that if I'd never watched or read Attack on Titan, I would have no trouble getting into Wings of Freedom. But alas, the entire time I played, I felt disconnected from the characters and their troubles. Number 4. Star Ocean: Integrity and Faithlessness by Square Enix. Despite initially being excited to play a new Star Ocean game, my experience with the game was disappointing to say the least, as Star Ocean: Integrity and Faithlessness was a bland experience filled with issues such as a camera and running animation that loved to create a feeling of motion sickness. Regarding the game's story, Star Ocean: Integrity and Faithlessness focused on throwing the protagonist and his friends into a completely new world of experiences, as they are caught in the middle of a dispute between two advanced spacefaring races, the Federation and Kronos government. The dispute is caused by a small child called Relia, who the protagonist Fidel rescued from the Kronos government. The meat of the story involves protecting Relia and stopping an all-out war between the Federation and Kronos. While the story sounds interesting on paper, the amount of information players are bombarded with and rushed plot twists does negatively affect the game. The game is also let down by a large 6-party system that mostly consists of a barrage of blinding skills and wandering camera. Number 3. Sword Art Online HollowRealization by Bandai Namco Entertainment. Sword Art Online HollowRealization is another game based off an anime. The anime Sword Art Online is based around characters trapped in an MMO who, if they die inside it, die in real life. HollowRealization is built around the characters in the anime and additional source material, entering a new VR MMO called Sword Art Origin. Their role in this new MMO is to make sure everything is running smoothly, and of course, they end up finding a problem. Sword Art Online HollowRealization is third, as almost everything about the game was forgettable, from its story all the way up to its characters. Although concerning the characters, it is fair to say that some blame lies with the creator of the franchise, as they aren't exactly the most interesting characters to work with. To make things worse, HollowRealization has a downright creepy feature known as private chats. This feature allows you to have intimate conversations with the main characters in the game, with players agreeing or disagreeing with characters to gain favour, and eventually carrying them back to your room for pillow talk. Number 2. Homefront The Revolution by Deep Silver. Homefront The Revolution offers a continuation of the story of a unified Korea occupying a weakened United States. This time the story shifts from the West Coast to Philadelphia as the resistance tries to do whatever they can to free their city. While the overall premise is rather out there with Korea occupying the United States, the story as a whole is flat and attempts to create moral dilemmas that you can't influence. While the story wants you to root for the resistance fighters, I couldn't, as their actions led to ordinary civilians getting hurt. Now, what cements Homefront The Revolution as the second most disappointing game of 2016 is several technical issues that plagued the game at launch. These include a terrible frame rate that turned the game into a slideshow when in particle effect heavy areas, horrendous load times, and the fact that when autosave activated, the game would freeze for around a second or two, which meant you were easy prey for enemies. While many of these issues have been fixed, the issues left a powerful negative impression in my head. Number 1. No Man's Sky by Hello Games. No Man's Sky is a textbook example of what happens when you overhype a game. Prior to release, No Man's Sky talked up many features such as meeting and interacting with other players. But when the game launched, players quickly discovered that features mentioned by Hello Games never made it into the game. Now, while the game's much hyped exploration and procedurally generated world lived up to expectations, the gameplay involved in exploring and gathering on the worlds you visited was tedious. To do anything in the game, you needed specific resources to power your spaceship, weapons, and other critical equipment. However, while collecting resources was easy, the game offered very little inventory space, and the resources you need to power your equipment depletes quickly. This means that exploration consists of getting enough resources so you could get off the planet you landed on. The constant need to scavenge for resources and micromanage your inventory meant that players couldn't take the time to admire the worlds they visited or how the game subtly set you a goal. Thank you for watching SG Gaming Info's 5 most disappointing games of 2016. If you enjoyed this video, please like, favorite, and subscribe. For more gaming information, please visit sggaminginfo.com, and don't forget to like our Facebook page at facebook.com/sggaminginfo, and of course follow us on Twitter at sggaminginfo.